Hello everybody, right, so we are on to day 6 of our data unit and we're looking again at pie charts, but this time we're relating pie charts to unit of study, and this is a really good way to see how data and the use of data and presenting data is used as a way of helping us to understand the world. So understanding the world is what unit of study is all about, and the world around us. And using maths to do that is probably the best way in many ways. So I was talking to 5LAM, and I asked how many people's parents used graphs of some kind in their work, and almost every single one of them put their hand up. So using graphs in a real world context is definitely something that we want to be looking at and thinking about. So let's have a look at how that is actually used in the real world now. So with pie charts, what we see here is it's a really good way of us understanding energy consumption, and that's what we're going to be linking it to today. So this is energy consumption of the United States. Now, we must remember that the pie chart is the whole, okay? And you can see here, it's quite handy sometimes when they've given us percentages. They've gone with percentage instead of actual numbers. You might be able to work out the actual numbers here, but if you actually look at the pie chart, it's in percentages, okay? And that means that the overall pie chart, the whole, is out of 100. It's as simple as that, really. Pie charts are actually a great way of understanding percentages, which we haven't done a lot on percentages, but you just need to know that it's 100. So all of these, every time, add up to 100, because the whole is 100. Okay, so then this section is 32%. 32 out of the 100 whole. Okay, 11 out of the 100 whole. Okay, so that's really important for you to consider here, because we're not dealing specifically with numbers that might give us, like say in the previous slides we had, it was like out of 96, and we were working out the whole and the sections from that 96, or we were given a 48 figure as well. Here we don't need to really, because we're looking at everything being out of 100. The whole is 100. And similarly, when we go into other countries here, the whole is 100. We've got that percentage sign here, which tells us that the whole is 100. And then this is all 46 out of 100. So very nearly half. Very nearly, but not quite. Okay. And we have India here. Okay, and then this is slightly different way of doing a pie chart. It is literally exactly the same, but it just has a hole in the middle, I guess, like a donut chart rather than a pie chart, I guess. But that, you can see they've put an additional piece of information in there, which can sometimes be, you see on infographics quite a lot. You might see this one. You read it exactly the same as a pie chart. Again, and even though they've taken a section out, it's still the whole, okay? The overall whole thing, okay? And then we have some questions here. So this is, can you read the pie charts above and answer these questions? Okay, or not answer these questions really, but make statements based on the data that's there. Okay, so this is looking and trying to identify where the renewable energy is and where the strengths and areas for improvement are with each of the countries. So one statement here, and then another statement here on each slide. You just fill in the blanks, double click. Nice and straightforward for that first one. The second one here, though, is kind of more on a scale. So I've said seesaw here because you might want to share this thinking on seesaw. This would be a good thing for discussion. But if you're ask your teacher, because your teacher might just want you to put a video in via Google Classroom instead of sharing on seesaw. Okay, but what I mean really when I put seesaw is that this is a great discussion point. Okay, and it'd be really great to have a video over the top or a voice over the top explaining your thinking. What I'm going to recommend you do is that you go insert, and you probably image, and you can go camera, and you can take a little selfie here and make a small selfie and put it somewhere on this scale to basically show what your opinion is on here. Hot countries always use more solar because it's sunny. Do you agree with that statement, or do you not really agree with that statement? It might be that there's not enough information for you to agree, so you're going to say not really. But that's where we want the voiceover to make it very clear. Okay, so where do you fit on the scale? Do you agree? Do you not agree with each statement? And then can you make or give an explanation over the top? On the next slides after that, there is some extension work if you feel like you want to take your learning deeper.